What's up guys, I'm BTC. The new map on the PTR is full of details and very well might have hints towards Hero 30 and the next archive event. Whenever there's a new map, everyone goes through it trying to find hints to the new hero. And with the new Paris map, that is no different. But things have changed on Blizzard's end. What they've done is changed how they put the hints in the maps. Originally, when it was Ana and Sombra, those were the only things in the maps, so it was pretty obvious that they were hints to a new hero. But flash forward to stuff like Junkertown, and you have all of these posters on the wall for all these potential different characters, and most of them were fake, but one of them turned out to be true. So what ends up happening with the new maps is Blizzard has put in so much tons of stuff that even if there is a hint somewhere, it's kind of hiding in plain sight, and you never can really tell what is going to be the real hint and what's fake. There seem to be some pretty good indicators in this map that seem to hint towards not only a new hero, but also what the next archive event will be. I'm going to start with the potential archive event. Last year we had Retribution and the brand new Rialto map. Now, it seems like Blizzard is trying to double up on this stuff, and it makes sense. It takes a massive amount of effort in order to make these maps. So if they can use them in an event and give it as a regular quick play competitive map at the same time, then it makes sense for them to do it. One of the first trailers for the game showed Winston reactivating all the old Overwatch agents because they had to go into hiding, Overwatch was no more, and Winston was kind of bringing it back, which he wasn't supposed to do. But we didn't really know why Overwatch had to go away in the first place. We just knew that the public opinion kind of went against them, and then they had to go away, and there was the Petrosac and all that sort of stuff. So what we have is the present day where Winston is trying to reassemble all of the Overwatch team, but now the archive events are showing what happened when the Overwatch originally collapsed. The first archive event was Uprising, which showed the Overwatch team being sent into King's Row to deal with the Null Sector Omnics, even though they weren't supposed to, and this caused a really big problem for Overwatch. The second event was Retribution, and this made the Blackwatch team way more public than they ever wanted to be, and it showed the incident with Antonio, and it just became a really big disaster for Overwatch. Now, the third thing is probably going to continue that same story, and it's going to show the further downfall of Overwatch, and one of those major events was when Gerard Lacroix ended up getting killed, and he was killed by his wife, Widowmaker, who was at the time known as Amélie Lacroix. Talon tried to take out Gerard numerous times. The attack that sparked the Retribution event was just one of them. They kept trying and kept failing until finally they kidnapped his wife Amélie, brainwashed her, and then allowed her to be rescued. So they didn't really let her go, but they made Overwatch come in and rescue her and made it feel like she was actually getting successfully rescued, when in reality she was being released by Talon so she could be a sleeper agent, and then 2 weeks later she ended up killing Gerard. After that, she went back to Talon, got more training, and was also modified by Moira, which is why she has the blue skin. So putting all this stuff together, Gerard was really good friends with Reaper, which is why he got so mad when Talon tried to take his life. He went and he dealt with Antonio. After Gerard dies, you can only expect that Gabriel Reyes, Reaper, is going to be even more angry, and he's probably going to lash out and do things that are even worse. And now we have the brand new map, Paris, which is where Amélie Lacroix was a ballet dancer in the past. So if she was going to be kidnapped at some point in the past, it likely would have happened in Paris. So we have a new map, we have a major character from a major event in the past, we also have Blizzard, who's probably going to want to double dip on the usage of the Paris map itself. It seems very likely that the next archive event is going to be the rescue mission of Amélie Lacroix. So what 4 characters are going to be used for this mission? Well, because it's a rescue mission, it could be Blackwatch, but seeing as they were just used last year, I don't really think that's likely, so I don't think Reaper, Genji, McCree, or Moira are likely going to be part of that. Definitely not Moira. And for Overwatch, we already had a couple during the Uprising event, which was Reinhardt, Mercy, Torbjorn, and Tracer, so there aren't too many other Overwatch agents that are available. There's Ana, who's never been used, Soldier, Winston, and Mei. Those are the only 4 that have not been used that are members of Overwatch. So it could be those 4, but I'm not really certain about that. I think it might end up being Ana, Soldier, maybe Reinhardt, maybe Winston. I don't really think Mei would fit into there, even though she is a member of Overwatch. I think they might end up using something like a Tracer or a Torbjorn instead. Alright, let's talk potential new hero, and no, I'm not talking about that one. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's Hero 30, it could be something beyond there, but there's another character that's been introduced that has a lot of connections to France and possibly Paris, besides Widowmaker, and that would be Maximilian. He has a base that is in Monaco, which is a very small, very rich country on the southeast border of France. And it's about a 10-hour drive by our standards to get from Monaco to Paris, but remember, in the Overwatch universe, they have flying cars, so it's probably going to be shorter than that. Now, there are a couple of things in this map that make me think that Maximilian is having some sort of influence in Paris, or at least Talon in general. And if you look over here, there's a bunch of these posters here, right? And one of the things that Doomfist talks about when he's on King's Row is he mentions about how the Omnics won't be kept down and there's going to be a fight and all that sort of stuff. And one of the things Doomfist wants, one of the directions he wants for Talon, is to cause more fighting, because he believes that the way to get stronger and the way to improve the world as a whole is through conflict. And some of the older members of Talon didn't agree with it, so he got rid of them. So now he's pretty much running the show, and they're doing the mission that he wants. Going back to the Doomfist comic, after he was imprisoned, the other leaders of Talon took the organization in a different direction. They decided that rather than just causing conflict, they wanted to make a massive amount of money, and that's exactly what they started doing. So when Doomfist got out, that was a threat, and Viali tried to deal with Doomfist, but ended up Doomfist threw Viali off the building and took care of him. So Doomfist now is in control of Talon, and he decided, we're not just going to try to make money, we're going to stir stuff up, we're going to create conflict, and that is going to make the world stronger. That is what our mission is supposed to be. Let's take a closer look at some of this stuff. Remember what I said, you can hide things in plain sight as long as there's enough things going on. So the first thing is this right here. I couldn't really tell what it was. At first I thought maybe it's an Omnic with these are the eyes and that's the mouth and the neck and maybe some like fake hair, kind of like what you have from the bot in there. But then I looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute, that kind of resembles the trophy from the World Cup. So here it is, like, it kind of resembles it a little bit. Like, I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. What do you think it is? Let me know down in the comments. I don't think it's all that important, though. So there are some other things here. The obvious is this one right here, and he's kind of lifting up the building, kind of showing what's behind the scenes. And that goes right with this, where it says, essentially, we're watching you. So the idea that they're watching you and that they're everywhere. And, you know, Omnics are going to uprise. So that's kind of the theme of the whole Omnic uprising thing. Now, there's another little hint behind here. This is 2 stars. I don't know if this is supposed to be an Easter egg just for the soccer thing, because the World Cup team for France did win 2, so this is what their logo looks like. They have 2 little stars, so if that is just soccer related and that's the soccer trophy, then, I mean, it could just be that simple. But I think there's a lot of other things here going on that all have to do with the hints about the Omnics and that sort of thing as well. And maybe the 2 stars could be the wins, or it could be the difficulty of the new character, right? Or maybe it's both. And then you have stuff over here like these where basically the Omnics are blinded. There's no justice is kind of the theme for that. And then when we go into the police station, there are 2 humans in here, which is Junkrat and Roadhog, but every other character is an Omnic. Everything. On all of these screens, they're always Omnics. There's not a single human in here except for Roadhog and Junkrat. Another hint that this might be all manufactured by Talon for the purposes of conflict is the stark contrast between King's Row and Paris. If you look in King's Row, Omnics are treated like garbage. They literally live in the sewer. But in Paris, it appears that they're treated as equals, that they are on par with any of the humans that live here. There are many famous and very wealthy Omnics that live in this area. They're prominent in advertisement. There's a very prominent cabaret singer, which is Luna, inside this building here. So it's not like the Omnics are treated badly here. Quite opposite, they're treated as equals. So this sort of stuff makes sense in King's Row, where they're being treated like garbage, but here in Paris, they're treated as equals. They're treated just as well as any human, so it doesn't make any sense for that sort of an uprising to occur unless it was fake, and unless it's being pushed by Talon for the only reason of conflict. So put the pieces together. Maximilian is a leader of Talon. He's an Omnic. He lives right next to France in Monaco. He would have the power and the influence to do whatever he wanted in Paris. If he needed to cause an uprising among the Omnics, he could do it. Very well, easily finance whatever is going on. He could recruit and all that sort of stuff. So it seems entirely possible that all of that stuff is going to be linked right back to him. And speaking of new heroes, or at least new hero concepts, I released a video yesterday with a brand new hero concept for Mikhail. It came out awesome. I really liked making that character. Unfortunately, I released the video right before Blizzard dropped the PTR change with the new map. So in case you didn't see it, go and check out the brand new hero concept. I will be making a follow-up video to that later on today, answering your questions. So if you have any questions on my hero concept, leave them in the comment section for that video, and I'll grab the best ones and I'll put them in the follow-up video. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.